Catapulting Commissions family. What's up, team? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Catapulting Commissions podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Garcia. So, our guests continue to get impressive and more impressive, and Catapulting Commissions family, you're going to want to listen today because we're going to break down one of the forgotten arts of really driving customer engagement, bringing your customers home, and for lack of better words, catapulting your commissions. Let me tell you about Rick Elmore. Rick Elmore is an entrepreneur, sales and marketing expert. He is the founder and CEO of Simply Noted. Rick developed a proprietary technology that puts real pen and ink to paper to scale handwritten communication, helping businesses of all industries scale this unique marketing platform to stand out from their competition and build a meaningful relationship with clients, customers, and employees. Rick, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me today. It's great to be here.
God, man. So let's break this down. I remember my very first sales job I had was 20 years ago. And I was told by my sales manager, right, you write a handwritten note at the end and thank somebody for their time. Mm-hmm. And in theory, it seemed great to actually execute. Like if you have a full day of appointments, it became more of a chore. And we would lose some of that. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, help me understand, man. How did Simply Noted come to life? Because it's for lack of better word, it's a forgotten art.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. So, again, my name is Rick Elmore. My background is actually in medical sales, but I went back and did my MBA in 2017, and that's where the idea for Simply Noted began. About a year into my program, I had no clue, this was ever going to happen, but the epiphany happened when I was listening to a lecture. So about a year into my program, I was in a marketing class and I had a professor going over all the success rates in marketing, and our classes were 3.5 hours long, after working a full day. This was night school. And he was talking about everything was super nominal. Email was low double digits, cold calling was single digits, email, everything, direct mail is all super low. And at the end of this lecture, I don't even think he meant to do this, but he said something that was just so profound. And he said, "Hey guys, what works now better now than if not ever is a good old fashioned handwritten note. They get opened 99+% of the time, so almost 100% open rate. It's rare, nobody's receiving them, and it's just a great way to engage your clients in a different way." And I just thought it was such a no-brainer, but I was in a medical sales job that had 400 clients in my portfolio, plus 6,000 targets in my total addressable market in my territory. And I just thought there's no way to do this at scale. There's no way to do it efficiently. It took me and my wife 2 weeks to send out holiday cards to my clients, and all we did was write the address and no return address. We stamped the return address and we wrote handwrote the recipient address. It took us 2 weeks just to put a Christmas card in an envelope. So I had a classmate of mine and myself. We got together and we started, thinking hey, if there's a way to scale this and automate it, for businesses, we could be onto something here. So, it's been incredibly hard to build this over the last 5 years, but we got to work. Every great journey begins with a single step. I bought a really terrible pen writing machine from China. It was $600. It was just a paperless XYZ writing machine that had no paper feed. It was called a pen plotter. And it took us about a month, but I wrote 500 handwritten notes with this machine. And I used it as a sales tool early on because I was trying to get in front of my clients and grow my business. But I sent out 500 handwritten notes to clients I didn't work with. And I thought hey, this could be a good way to book meetings. It's really hard to get past gatekeepers. It's really hard to get in front of these decision makers all the time. So I sent out 500 handwritten notes after about a month of dealing with this really bad machine that was terrible. It broke down all the time. I had my parents when I was at work try to make it work, my wife. But yeah, these 500 handwritten notes that we sent out, the response rate was just absolutely amazing. These doctors were calling me and saying, "Hey, Rick, first off, thanks for sending me a handwritten note. This is cool. Let's book a lunch and talk about, your business and what you can do." And I had a quota of about $50,000 a month for this small medical company I was working for. And within 6 weeks of sending out that handwritten mail campaign, I sold about $280,000 in new sales. It's $28,000 in commission. Like the entrepreneurial light bulb seizure moment went off. I was like, I knew this was going to work. Like, this is amazing. And basically, from that day forward, I started working on a company that can scale sending genuine handwritten notes and then automate it for B2B businesses, e-commerce platforms, or anybody who uses software. Like, we can automate sending a thank you card for anything. So that's kind of like the quick high level overview, but there's so much more. We build robots now. We work with Fortune 100 companies. We run our own printing warehouse. We have our own engineering firm. Like, it's intense what we've done over the last 5 years.
Man, well, one, congratulations to your success, right? I definitely know getting a business up and running is never easy. First 5 years are always like the kicker to your face, right? I just had a guest in the podcast earlier that made the reference that no matter the size of your company, you're gonna get punched in your face at least 8 times a day. I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. That is a 100% accurate description of this life we signed up for. But so congratulations there. Now, is this process, like, do you see more people using this as a gratitude methodology, like, hey, reaching out after the fact saying thank you, or is this more to, like what you said in the beginning, to like assist with prospecting, getting in front of somebody? Because I know one of the things that I had a medical sales background as well, and I know even now with the clients that I work with, I'm like, we have to be able to stand out. Like, I have to be different than my competition. Like, and every entrepreneur, every salesperson thinks their product and service is the greatest. Hands down, I wouldn't trust somebody who didn't think their product or service is the greatest.
Yeah.
But in reality, there is competition. There are things that are just as good. Maybe you have a slight edge or whatever it may be. So we have to be different. This provides a differentiation. So how do you see your people or your customers utilizing this automation tool?
Well, I definitely see our best clients use this as a gratitude tool to build a relationship. Like you just said, like, every business has a competitor. Every client has an option to who they're going to work with. How I was successful in my medical sales career was absolutely dominating the relationship. I was willing to go above and beyond and do things that my competitors weren't going to do. So my clients knew that I was the best person there for them. I had their best interests in mind. I remember their birthdays. I'd ask them how their wife was doing, how their weekend was. I'd text them about a team, that they're interested in. Like, hey, I saw the Dodgers are doing, Dodgers just won, whatever, go Dodgers. I'm from LA too, so it was easy. But I was willing to do things with the relationship that really helped me scale my business. And I think if you really look at it like that, how relationships is what's going to drive your business forward in the future. You start looking at your business in a different way. Our best clients use us just to say thank you, to kind of get away from that leaky bucket syndrome, the attrition of just, customers coming and going nonstop. What we just started doing a survey about 3 months ago. And what we're finding is that in that first 90 days of a client coming on, if you're not doing anything or everything you possibly can to work on that relationship, you're going to lose them. And the evidence that we're finding is very clear. If you're not calling them and thanking them, calling them and saying, hey, what can we do better for you? How was your experience? Sending them a thank you note and obsessing about their customer experience, the odds of you losing that client they go absolutely through the roof. But we do have people who use us for marketing or business development or booking meetings. We use our own tool for marketing, business development, booking meetings. We send out handwritten notes every single week to book meetings. It's a great tool to use for booking meetings. But what we have seen, the clients who use us the most often, the most frequently, and who've used us the longest are the clients who use us just to say thank you, because the relationship's never going to go away in business, especially in today's digital world. From 2000 to 2022, it's a digital revolution. Everything went, online. Everything is automated nowadays. Like, email, text messaging, even social, like all your stuff online is automated. Really, the last thing that you think can be automated is a handwritten note. It's just, people don't understand there's technologies out there that can help you do it. But now we're in the AI revolution. So we really do genuinely believe, like, we started at a perfect time 5-6 years ago. And everything's going to come back again. Everything's going digital and AI, and there's going to be a resurgence of going tactical, tangible, face to face. And this is just a great tool that helps you do that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't speak enough about that. That the skill or the ability, just this personal influence of some of these. I don't know. I hate saying it because I'm going to date you and me, but some of these old school philosophies we did many years ago, they're coming back around, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
a study done many years ago out of Cambridge, and it was talking about the future of automation, and it talked about how like 90% of the jobs that are in the market space today are at risk of being taken over by automation.
Yeah.
One of them that wasn't was management influence, like a sales manager, because you had to be able to influence somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that through automation. Can't do that through AI.
Mm-mm.
And some of those tools to influence, like the handwritten notes, the face-to-face visits, you can't replace that. So I love that. I love the area your company's positioned and primed in. So that's a good story, good segue for me to bring this up to the next part, right? So majority of the listeners on the show are high performing sales professionals or entrepreneurs that have sales teams. Think of service based professionals, and
Mm-hmm.
they are trying to grow their business right now. You're going in 5 years. I think the number of businesses that make it to 5 years is super low.
5%.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
help us understand, right? What are some of the early adversities you faced in bringing this business to life that you overcome, but you thought at a point in time, like, hey, this is it. This is going to be the blow that's going to crush me.
Well, when you start a business, and I've learned this now as an entrepreneur, you gotta be really good at what you do before you start a business. I think a lot of people who want to start a business, they want to be their own boss, but they don't realize like everything that goes into it. I'm a sales and marketing founder, but if I ever start another business, I'd realize I would need a tech founder. I would need, a fractional CFO or maybe a CMO, something like that. But I'm really good at sales and marketing, and I've treated this entire process, I've brought that to the table. What has helped us grow is just tons and tons of activity. All the stuff that you hear, your sales managers and your most successful like sales reps talk about. It's just all about the hustles, getting out there, outworking everybody. But what I have really done good is what I did good in medical sales is managing relationships, getting out there, connecting the dots, making the right connections. I've scaled my activity. I'm using tons of different tools, for social, again, our own handwritten notes. We reach out to, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm constantly reaching out to, people that are successful business owners here and trying to get lunches with them and connect with them, people in the community, to show them who we are, what we do, and just build on that relationship. So I think it's really important, as a business owner, understand what you're good at, but understand what you're not good at and get those other people on board. I was talking to my wife too last night, and she just got a new job. She's in fundraising, and she went through like one of those like skill talent, like and whatever test systems. And one of the things is that like you gotta 10x down on your strengths and not worry about your weaknesses. You can work on your weaknesses, but your strengths are what are going to carry you into the future. Put all your energy into your strengths. And my strengths have always been activity, relationship management, outworking everybody. My credo is passion, desire, perseverance, and strength. I'm passionate about what I'm doing, which is the problem that we're solving. I have desire, to keep growing, becoming a better person. Perseverance, right? Like you said, like you need to persevere. You're going to get punched 8 times in the face as a business owner or sales rep every single day. And then strength, right? Because there's going to be a lot of dark times that you're going to have to hold it together and keep moving forward.
Oh man, absolutely. There is a challenge that comes with this journey that I don't think we realize. And I love how you approach and you say, right, you have to identify what your strengths are and be really good at that. And in the early stages, and even now, I struggle with this with my own company right now. Like I still wear multiple hats right now. I always joke. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm close enough to where I can start adding a few layers, but I'm not close enough to where I'm not. So we're a growing company. I consider Catapulting Commissions a startup, so definitely wear multiple hats. But I quickly have hired or outsourced the areas I suck at, or I just don't want to do. There's certain things that people do better, but in identifying your strengths and running with it, it gives us like level of confidence, right? So I look at your journey right now, Rick. You have a high income skill, point blank. If simply noted, tomorrow blink of an eye is gone. You have a high income skill, and you
I
would
wouldn't
bounce
be
back
worried. I wouldn't be worried.
significantly fast, right?
Yeah.
So when you have this high income skill, there's a certain level of confidence of like, okay, I can do this. I can make this work. But I've also found out that sometimes that level of confidence can kind of get us blinded. Do you have any mentors along the way, or like who's keeping you focused on this journey?
A big reason why I started my own business is I wanted to prove to myself my success wasn't because of something else or somebody else. My background's in athletics. I played like high level Division I football. Pac-10 back then. I led the Pac-10 in multiple stat categories. All conference player 3 years in a row. Drafted in the NFL. Played 3 years there. When I was a medical sales rep, I was rookie of the year my first year. And the next 5 years, I was either top 1% or top 5 sales rep. And I was having all this success. And a lot of these, I feel like a lot of these highly successful individuals, you kind of have like imposter syndrome. It's like you feel like you're good, but you don't. Like there's like you want to be better, but like kind of like withhold yourself becoming like from getting better, kind of like in your own way. So I started, simply noted, a big reason why is to prove that my success wasn't because of a system. It wasn't because of a product. It wasn't because of a company. It wasn't because of a person. No nepotism. I wanted to prove to myself that I had an idea and I can do this. And my skills that I've developed, on myself is what's helping me become successful. So I think a lot of people who are high achievers, they kind of have that, doubt in their mind. And the way for you to kind of push through that doubt is you have to prove to yourself and get through it. This is how I did it. I had an idea, I went to business school, I had an idea and I executed it. So, and I'm nowhere near, the potential of this business. We're completely self-funded. This is a robotics company, a software company, an industrial automation company. I bit off way more than I could chew. I'm literally drinking from a fire hose, 26 hours a day. Like I'm literally having vivid dreams of the problems I'm trying to solve. Like I am, in a completely different headspace than I was 7 years ago when I was a medical sales rep. I've had to evolve and become better. But I think if you're out there and you're starting a business, you're a sales rep and you're trying to get better, you have to get so far outside your comfort zone and do something different every single day to help you elevate and grow. Like you're not gonna reach your potential or become as good as you can come if you just kind of get into routine and do the same things. It's too competitive. There's too many people out there who want it more than you. Times are changing faster than ever. Technology is going to replace a lot of us. So like you're going to kind of have that anxiety for progress, always want to learn, always want to create, always want to get better. And that's kind of, what I've done to help my career progress.
Oh man, I love it. And yeah, dude, congratulations. I saw you had an incredibly successful athletic career in the Pac-10, which, man, I wish that Pac-10 or Pac-12 was going to be what it was back then. That's when you and I grew up.
It's not. Yeah, no.
That could be a whole nother show. So your platform, you're growing, self-funded. That is incredibly impressive, right? So you're building this bootstrapped organization. What's next for you? So right now, if I go on the website and simplynoted.com, Catapulting Commissions Family, you'll find that link in the show notes right there. You go, now I can send cards. Now, can I create my own custom cards? Can I send cards with my logo? Yeah. Like what's the premise behind it?
No, I think right now we're a client engagement platform. So whether you're trying to like retain your clients or acquire new clients, a handwritten note's a good way to do it. It's incredibly inexpensive. We have plans that start from like $3 a card all the way down to like $1 a card. And if you're looking at, your cost per acquisition, even our CPA and ads, it's incredibly high. It's kind of hard to narrow down and really get that CPA really low. But a handwritten note is just so rare. It pops up and it literally stands up on a desk. It's literally a foldover card. It has an incredibly long shelf life. If you think of that text message, that email, they get forgotten immediately. They within seconds, if not even a second. A handwritten note, could be in someone's desk, for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We'll send out our sample kits, and get a call 6 months later, and they still have it in their desk. So a handwritten note, I believe it's worth its weight in gold. They're incredibly rare. The average person receives less than 5 a year. I think it's even lower than that. Just a quick story. When I was being recruited, outside that that great story I told about how much commission I got off a 500 note campaign. But when I was being recruited out of college, I had over 50 Division I offers. I have a twin brother. I was only going to go somewhere with my twin brother. So the only schools I really considered were the schools that sent me a handwritten note, and these, anytime I got a handwritten note from a coach, I'd literally like walk around like it was like literally a piece of gold. I would show my friends. I was like, check this out. The head coach from Kentucky just sent me this, or, hey, Kansas State just sent me this, or Oregon just sent me this. And like, it was just so incredibly awesome. When I left the 49ers in 2012, Coach Jim Harbaugh, who was the head coach at Stanford when I was at Arizona, so I played against him at U of A for 5 years, he sent me a handwritten note. And I just thought that was like so incredible. Like, somebody of his stature, regardless if he did it or not, or his assistant, I think he did, right? Perception's reality. Now that's literally a keepsake in my office. So these people of influence, if you're an executive, you're a business owner, you have influence over your community, your team, your clients. And a handwritten note is just such a powerful way to literally bury like you into the cerebellum of their brain. Like, they will never forget that. It's so powerful. It's so rare. And we just make it incredibly easy. But going forward, I see Simply Noted growing, outside the product our service that we do today, kind of go more into like the gifting platform, adding more to the handwritten note. Right now, I think the handwritten note's a gift. It's just, why try to fancy it up with a bottle of wine? But I do see us growing into a platform that allows our clients to, send more than just a handwritten note. But right now, in order for me to do that, I would need to raise, millions and millions of dollars. And I don't even think we've scratched the surface of the potential here. We've invested over $900,000 just into our writing robot. Just the development, not the production. Now we're in production. It's incredibly expensive. We're doing injection molding, working in China. I have an electrical team, a software team, mechanical team. We're trying to build them all here in Arizona, which is incredibly expensive, but there's a purpose to that. But I'm excited about the growth, that I'm having personally, the professional and personal growth. But I'm excited about the problem that we're solving, is really scaling and automating and making it easier than ever. As easy as sending an email to send a real, genuine handwritten note.
Oh man, I love it. And Catapulting Commissions Family, if you haven't played on Simply Noted, go on the website. It integrates with everything. You can make a zap to your CRM, your email management system. It's funny. You can set it up that way. I love things running through my VA, so I zap stuff to my VA, and she's like the wizard behind the scenes. There's all the things you can do to make this automated.
Yeah,
but
Zapier is a great tool for us.
Yeah, it's massive. You mentioned one thing, Rick. People don't realize how much of a position of influence they have when you're the founder, the leader, the president, the sales manager, whatever it may be. Right. I recently had a conversation with a couple of my clients. They're founders. They're relatively young, but their company, I think, is 5 years old, 4 years old, and they got a staff of 20, and they're all relatively the same age. And I'm like, hey, they are, but you two built a company in your parents' basement that is now doing $4.5 million a year. There's a certain level of like, oh my goodness, you did something. People look at you just a little bit differently. So when you send something like a handwritten note, it means something. So I love that, because I got a handwritten note, first sales job from our regional sales director, and it was like handwritten in the mail, and I have it somewhere upstairs in the scrapbook. 20 years later, I still have that. Don't have the emails that were sent to me, but I have that.
Think about it. Are you going to print off an email and put it on your fridge? Are you going to print off? You get a screenshot a text message.
No.
And I think every business should thank their client once a year. We have a client appreciation, customer appreciation day coming up here in like a week. I I wish more businesses would do it every single year, but we do have a good amount of our clients who will send a note, at least on a customer appreciation day, which is at the end of April. And then during the holidays, our busiest time is during the holidays. Almost all our clients send holiday cards. But yeah, just do not underestimate the power of just saying thank you and putting it in pen on a real card. The influence you have, you don't realize like you can make someone's day, and how that you kind of have the butterfly effect on your business. They can stay longer, refer a friend, write a review. A big client can see that online. We're really big on social proof. Like, reviews mean everything to us, the feedback, the way people talk about us online. But a big point of that is how we treat our clients. And we're always sending them handwritten notes. I call all our new clients personally once a month. I'll spend a day, I'll look up who our new clients are the last 30 days. I'll spend literally hours just calling them and saying thank you. Like, people are like, I can't believe the CEO of a company is calling me to thank me. Like, that stuff matters. Sending a thank you card matters. Outside of using us as a business development tool, it's just the relationship. Focus on the relationship and watch your business just hockey stick. It may take some time. Everything takes time. Good things take time, right? How you win business is how you lose business, right? Don't be that guy who tries to win on price or lose on price. Win on relationship. Loyalty is royalty, and this is a great tool for that.
Oh man, loyalty is royalty. Catapulting Commissions Family. Rewind that. Listen to that again. Rick Elmore, thank you so much, man. Founder and CEO of Simply Noted. You'll find that link in the show note. Hey, Rick, how does the Catapulting Commissions Family get a hold of you? Learn more? Or like what websites, domains, or where should we send them to?
So I'm on LinkedIn all day. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. I try to respond within an hour. If you have a question, I'll be happy to help you. But go to our website, Simply Noted, just how it's spelled, S as in Sam, I M as in Mary, PLY noted.com, and request a sample. We'll send you this. I don't know if this is going to be on video online, but we'll send you this nice sample kit with a bunch of handwriting samples and flyers and case studies and pricing and handwriting styles. We get amazing feedback on our sample kit. But yeah, and that's free. We'll send it to you for free. But yeah, just go to simplynoted.com, request a sample. And what usually happens, people get the sample kit and they it literally blows their mind. They're like, oh, I thought this was going to be printed. Like, no, it's really written with a real pen. The ink will smear, and then they get excited and they talk to us about a project we can help them with.
Oh, that's exciting, man. I'm so excited, man. I'm gonna get me one of those on my own, and I love the concept. I definitely think we'll be implementing the Catapulting Commission structure. So, Catapulting Commissions family, this is the time of the show. You know what to do. Do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you're a new listener, and comment. Let me know your thoughts or feedback. Do you like handwritten cards? Is it something that you would want to receive? Is it something you would adapt to? Let me know. Rick, thanks for joining the show, man. We wish you nothing but abundant success, and Catapulting Commissions. See you next week.